Hi, everyone. We have assembled some certified Oola life coaches tonight, and we're going to have a discussion and just talk about why we feel it's so important to feel gratitude in our lives every day. I know that I try to think about that every day and actually write something down, if at all possible, in my journal about what I'm thankful for. And sometimes I even have items that would seem like maybe they wouldn't be able to be grateful for, but somehow I can find a glimmer of light around the edges and find that that experience that seemed like it was a bad thing at the time actually brought me to a better situation later. And so tonight we're just going to talk to each other about gratitude, and we hope you'll enjoy this. We'll be doing this during the month of course, November, since it's Thanksgiving. Everybody's looking forward to pumpkin pie and turkey and just kind of talking about what we're grateful for. So, Gina, what are you grateful for tonight?
Today's been a little bit of a crazy day. But I guess when I look at the whole picture, I think the most thing that I'm grateful for right now and in the current situation is probably my faith. Because right now I'm holding strong onto no matter what happens right now in this world, everything that's happened this year. There's one God in control. And right now I'm just trusting his plan for all of us. I'm trusting that through this year, I remember at the beginning of the year, everyone talked about 2020 vision. And I think a lot of people are really starting to realize what their 2020 vision is and what is actually important in life when it comes to friends, good relationships with your family, having a strong faith network, taking care of yourself, all of the F's that we study all the time. I think this year is a really big opener for all of us to say, okay, I am so grateful that I am in the place where I am, and that I'm able now to use the framework that I've learned in Oola to share it and help other people, especially in this year. And I know with this campaign that we have going on for the month of November, where we're talking a lot about gratitude, we're talking about being grateful for certain things, but then also growing. So I think it has been a year for sure of gratitude and growth for me. I've grown so much in 2020, things that I was scared to death to do, like Facebook Lives or, just talking to people. I've really broken out of my shell with that. And that's something I'm extremely grateful for as well. So that's kind of what I've been grateful for this year and for today and everything.
That's great. Who wants to go next?
I'll go.
Okay, Amy.
I just bouncing off of what Gina was saying is just being grateful. I'm grateful for 2020. It's been a crazy but kind of a banner year for me. I had surgery in March. I graduated nursing school with my BSN. Well, I was already a nurse, but graduated with my BSN in May. When was that? May. I had knee surgery in June. I was lucky enough to have sorry, I lost my train of thought here. I was lucky enough to be able to work from home through all of this. So my family was taken care of. None of us got sick. There's just lots of good things that have happened, and just learning to be grateful. Like I could say, oh, it sucked, I had surgery, or I could say, yay, I had all the surgery, it's all taken care of, and now I'm good to go. You just have to be able to frame the way that you look at it in a positive light. And it really just helps. It helps coping, and then just helps you understand how really lucky you are.
That's awesome. What about you, Rob?
So 2020 has definitely been a crazy year. I think everybody can agree. But I'm just like, even just sitting here and reflecting over the year and just stopping to take stock of what's been happening in 2020. And really, 2020 I'm super grateful for this whole year, for so many things. I'm grateful that the jerk at the lab in January weighed me and told me the weight, even though I never wanted to know. But that took me forced me to go in a whole different direction. I'm grateful that both of us have jobs and that we have income through this. I'm grateful for my faith because, quite honestly, today I kind of have gotten today being grateful that I feel peace, because I know that no matter what, things are going to be taken care of. I'm grateful that I had an amazing neurosurgeon and a back surgery in June that has been phenomenal and changed my life. But really, all those things feel like gravy. But when I think about one of the biggest constant things that has really helped me and prepared me for this year is the mindset training that I've been doing the last couple of years, and then Oola. Because quite frankly, every time we're on a call with Dave or Troy or any of their lives or any posts they do, it's all positive and it's all gratitude. And it's so refreshing to be in such a crazy, chaotic world and just have all this positive energy. And it's not fake either. It's just like really genuine. And it's nice to be in that. And that's a space that I choose to be in. And not that I don't acknowledge that bad things happen. Bad things absolutely do happen. But like you said, Kevin, finding the gratitude in everything, even the time that, I got sick. Well, I got sick probably because I needed to take a break. And just, I just really, really feel like that with everything, we can have gratitude. And I really try to take every day. Sometimes I write it, sometimes I don't, but just to stop and just appreciate what's going on. What can I take away, especially when I'm feeling stressed? If I'm stressed or anxious, that's when I really just stop myself and just ask, what are you grateful for? And sometimes it's that I'm healthy. Sometimes it's that I'm breathing. Whatever it is, I can always find something to be grateful. And but yeah, I mean, this year has, as crazy as it is, it's really kind of kicked me in the ass and pushed me along my way too. So I am super grateful.
That is super, Rob, and it really is a choice, isn't it? We have to make that choice ourselves. So it's not just what happens to you; it's how you respond to what happens to you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, so is it my turn?
Well, why don't you tell us?
I guess so. Well, I mean, unless Darla would like to go. Would you lovely wife want to go?
Go ahead.
Okay, I'll go. I was looking at the boxes going, oh, no, it's my turn. No. I have to kind of smile at all of you because I'm in the same boat as all of you. 2020, everybody talks about 2020 being like, oh, it's so scary. It's so awful. But they haven't had the same training and the same inspirations that we've had. And with Oola, that's like the biggest takeaway ever from that program is knowing how to shift that mindset. And it is everything. It's so priceless. I mean, you get to be surrounded by people who are not negative Nellies. And that's huge. I mean, that's huge on how you treat others. It's huge on your stress levels in your own life. It's just huge. So I am like all of you. I look at 2020 and my husband and I talk about this all the time too. Because in 2019, he changed jobs and was no longer at the job he had been at for over 20 something years and came home and said, I'm not working there anymore. And I thought, oh my goodness gracious, are you kidding me? But it has really been, even though that started in 2019, it has been amazing. I mean, I went from being a wife that my husband traveled 5 to 6 days a week. He was home for 24 to 48 hours and that was it. My children are 10 and 13 now, but most of their childhood, I've been doing it by myself without him around. And it's been amazing having him home. And the whole mindset thing has changed the way we think about things. We don't think of, oh, he doesn't have a job. He's got other avenues that he's working on. And we're so grateful for those avenues that have brought us the income and brought us the abundance and everything that goes with it. The time with him has been priceless. So I'm right there with you. Everybody thinks 2020 is awful, and it really has been one of the best years in our household anyway. I mean, for sure. I spent more time with my husband in the past 18 months than I have in the 19 to 20 years we've been almost married. So and I still love him. I still want him to be around. It's so great. So, but in kind of reflecting on this too, I wanted to kind of go through some of all of the different F's and kind of show where I'm grateful for those particular F's and where I want to even continue to grow in them a little bit more. So in Oola, we talk about the 7 F's, and they are fitness, finance, family, field, which is your career, faith, friends, and fun. And I am super grateful for each of these areas. But at the same time, even though I'm grateful, I know I can still grow in those particular areas. And so that's one thing that we're really focusing on a lot this month in Oola. So as far as fitness goes, I was super amazing during the whole March till I went back. I'm a teacher. So those of you that don't know, I am a 3rd grade teacher. And when I got to go back, let me rephrase that. When I got to go back, that is a huge blessing in itself, because if I had to teach online, that would be a different outlook than being with my children. So when I got to go back to work, that fitness did not have the same shift. I didn't get to go out and do my walks in the morning all the time. And I know Rob is very into his walks in the morning. And so I'm grateful that I had that time and know how much I love it. But at the same time, now that I'm back working in person, I need to make that more of a priority again, especially since the weather's getting so nice, right? Finance, grateful for the money that we have coming in, even though, our situation has changed. But I want to be better about kind of donating or helping others who might not be in the same financial situation that we are in. As far as field goes, like I said, I'm so grateful, man. You will never hear out of my mouth that I'm tired of being with my kids for the remainder of my career. I won't take that for granted ever again, because seeing them on a screen is totally different than hearing their voices and seeing them and all of the things. So, but at the same time, I need to utilize my time better when I'm with them and really give those kiddos that need that one-on-one support all of my attention that I can while I am with them. My faith, I've gotten much better at that this year, but that is an area I need to grow mounds and leaps and bounds in. So I'm continuing to read a book that I started a long time ago, but I will finish it this month. That is one of my goals, and it's one of my Oola goals for sure as well. Friends, I've been doing really great. I've been so super grateful for all of you. I mean, looking at all of you on the screen, I could not be more grateful for all of you. However, I need to also reach out to those friends that I've been friends with for a long, long time and need to check in on them more often, for sure. And then the last one is fun. Fun, I would say I'm getting better at scheduling that a little bit more. I definitely have to schedule it. I'm not a very spontaneous person, but we were able to get a trailer a few months ago, and we've done quite a few adventures already on it. So I'm super grateful for the time we've got coming off or coming up in November, where we have time off. So we're going to use that time to do some Oola fun and do some adventures just locally while we can and we're able to. So those are my 7 F's and areas that I'm grateful for and all of that. So your turn, Darla. Or Kevin.
Take it away, Darla.
I'm grateful for a lot of things. We could have like a marathon meeting and just be on here for 7 days, 24/7 and talk about this. And Kevin's phones are all lighting up. Something in the world, right?
Everybody know I'm on Facebook Live.
know? It's so cute. Our house is a tech house, you guys. And I have my very own tech guy whenever I need him. So
Your own IT department.
in my own IT department right
Oh,
here.
guess what? You just got all of us as your new tech people too.
Right.
Well, actually, we'll ask Kevin. We'll probably need Kevin more.
Right. Oh my goodness. So, I'll just talk about field and my work for a minute. I have the luxury of working with women all day long and helping women as a nurse practitioner. But when I see a woman in a patient setting, I have a 15-20 minute appointment time with them, and they can come in for a variety of different things. But we're women, right? Like, it's not just that one thing ever. And is it ever just one thing? No. It doesn't even matter what subject, right?
That's why God gave us multiple fingers on each hand.
But we always have more than that. And so when I see a patient, I'm always like, well, what else is going on with you? You know what? Tell me about, what else is going on? Is your work okay? Is your family good? What are you doing for fun? Those kind of things. Because I like to get to know who I'm seeing. And I'll tell you, this Oola in my life has just been a blessing, because I invite people to come and learn about Oola when they're struggling, and when we do have life circumstances that feel like they turn us upside down, and how are we going to get out? And Oola gives you a whole family, right? Don't you guys feel like you have a whole new family now?
Absolutely.
And friends and a core. They say hang out with people, like-minded people. Well, where do you find them? You find them in Oola. And when we get people coaching with Oola, it really shows them it's a simple step process. It's not easy, you guys. It's not. But when life gives you trouble, you learn how to cope with it and learn some tools, and you have like a toolbox for life that you can just thrive, and you learn to choose how to be grateful for whatever circumstance you have. And I know some of you guys talked about writing in a journal. I don't know how many of you guys do that. It's a very common practice. Many people write in a journal. And Kevin mentioned that he writes a part in his journal that what he was grateful for on a certain day. My challenge to you, if you struggle with grateful, or even just starting it in the month of November, we have a grateful journal. You can get any notebook, but this one says be grateful, have faith, love Oola. But have a separate little one and just put what you're thankful for every day. Some days you might have one thing that comes to your mind. Some days you might have 5. Write them down. And when you're struggling and you feel like you're overstressed and overwhelmed, and you need some coping, or you need some release from that, one, exercise. So when we talk about exercising and walking every day, that's just a stress reliever. It's good for your body, but it's doing a lot of different things. And when you're eating healthy, it does a lot of different things to help you cope with the hard times. And certainly at the core of our core is faith. And so you can always have something to fall back on. But having a gratitude journal and only putting the good stuff in this one, wow, when you have a hard day, you can just open this one up and you can just read all the fun stuff and all the goodness. It has no hard struggles in it. It's the good part, right? And so I think that's really an amazing, just a tool that you can put in your pocket. So gratitude for some people is difficult because they can't see through life, and they just can't see it. And so if you're struggling with that sort of thing, reach out to us, because we can certainly, any of us will do a free call with you and get on the phone and say, what's up? Let's help you and see if you're a fit. Maybe it's time for you to have some coaching and get some support. And I think all of us have just turned our life, and we were great. We were great, right?
We thought we were great. Yeah.
So now we're up here great. Right? You guys feel like that?
Yeah, totally.
We were good, right? We all have a job where our life is good. We have shelter. We have Wi-Fi. What more can you want, right? Mexican food. It's on my list. But anyway, yeah, we're up here now. And so I think that's what I'm most grateful for, is just the wholeness of it and having more vision in my life. Yeah.
Can I say something too?
Why,
Here I
sure.
go with my end. I was listening to a podcast last week, and it was so good. It was talking about momentum and how a train going full speed with momentum can crash through a 5-foot brick wall and not even just go right through it. But without the momentum, a piece of wood would stop the train. So when I heard that, I thought, what if we, applied that with like gratitude? If you're grateful for something every single day, when something bad happens, you plow through it and you get through it. But it's hard when you are not grateful and then you are up against something hard and it stops you dead in your tracks. So I think that's why this, what we're doing this month, talking about, gratefulness and growth, it's so cool because that's a really good way for the momentum to get started, and just have like reminders from us coaches, from, our social media feeds. Be grateful for this today, or think about this, or ask yourself the questions, or where can you grow in this area? I think this campaign is going to be great. That's all. I'm done.
Cool.
That was good.
Anybody else want to chime in on what you've heard tonight so far?
I'll say one thing really quick, just as jumping off of, or piggybacking off of Darla, and getting started with the gratitude journal. I showed all of us this last night, but I found this amazing, cute little journal at the Dollar Tree. I mean, how cute is that? And it says, start each day with a grateful heart.
There you go.
And it is just blank notebook paper on the inside, but that's a super easy way to start, to put all of your goodness in there. I mean, so that's a good tip to do too. It doesn't have to, I mean, I love that journal that you've got there, but it doesn't have to be that journal. It can be any journal, any journal for sure. Yeah.
Anything else? Go ahead, Rob.
I want to piggyback off something that Colette said earlier. A couple of things that, one, I am grateful for all of our Arizona coaches. It's special and it's nice, and I definitely appreciate our fellowship and our bond that we have. And I'm definitely grateful to each and every one of you. Something else that Colette had said was talking about reaching out to others and friends and being intentional about that. From the rest of the year, it might be tough for a lot of people, and I recognize that. Even though I'm grateful for what I have, I recognize that for other people, it may not be the same. And it's just a reminder to myself to be conscious of making sure that I'm checking in with the people, even though I think they're okay, and maybe they're not, I don't know. But if we don't check in, you get that gut feeling like, I should call, Sally. Call Sally. Just take that minute. Or if you have something that a piece of gratitude you want to give somebody, just tell them, just do it right away. Don't delay. Because I've done that twice this month, and both times I've done it, the feedback I was given was it was very timely. So you just don't always know what's going on in the whole picture. And with the holidays coming up and just other things going on, I think it's just things that people need to hear, that they're appreciated and that they're loved and that people are actually thinking about them.
Yep. And oftentimes when you're thinking about them, you're thinking about them for a reason, right?
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. So don't ignore that feeling.
That's right.
So true.
Yeah.
I have a feeling I should ask Amy if she has anything else she wanted to say.
I just think, especially with everything that we're going through right now as a country, and just people, and people are gonna have a hard time through whatever happens. What we won't find out tonight, anyways. It's really hard to find gratitude in things, and so I think the best practice I ever did was I had a Start Today journal from Rachel Hollis, and writing down 5 things that you're grateful for every day. And it started out simple. I'm grateful that I got out of bed today. I'm grateful that I remembered to eat. I'm grateful that my kids took out the trash, and don't feel like anything is too small. It gets easier as you get used to the practice. And I think that's just a really important point to make.
Right.
Definitely.
And you're
That's
so
a good
right.
point too, because I think everybody looks for these huge moments.
Right.
And so there's like, well, I have nothing to be grateful for. And when you look at the small things, there's so much to be grateful for, and people forget that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah. If you've ever been injured or had an accident, you can't walk. Wow. Oh man.
Yeah.
I remember when I could walk, I could go do this, right? Or maybe you just broke your finger or you hurt your finger and you couldn't write with it the way you want to, or couldn't push the buttons on your phone or whatever.
My dad had a head injury a little over a year ago and has lost his sense of smell and taste, and he hasn't had it back in almost a year and a half. And I'm like, I can't even imagine. That's got to be crazy. And he just says, I just remember what it was like, but I can't taste anything. It's just weird to me. I can't imagine that.
Yeah. So be grateful for the little things too. And I think writing it down, however you write it down, write it on a note card, write it on a piece of paper. It's just the action of writing it down and remembering and telling yourself, oh yeah, this day wasn't that bad after all. Look at all these good things that did happen. Yeah, there was this one bad thing and I'll learn from that. But all these good things really outweigh that one little bad thing that happened today.
Yeah. It's like I've heard this saying too. This is a powerful one. It's like, did you really have a bad day or did you have a bad 5 minutes? And a lot of times we'll focus on that 5 minutes or whatever, and it just compiles. And then you start thinking of all the other things that are going wrong and not going your way, and what you focus on tends to happen. So, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, that's great. We certainly appreciate all of you being with us and all of you who are watching. We appreciate you being with us also. We'll be back here next week at this time and the following week. So every Tuesday in November is our plan to be here on Facebook Live and kind of discuss gratitude and different aspects of it. And then something special we're going to have scheduled for the first weekend in December. And we'll let you know more about that later.
Oh,
so everyone, let's end our broadcast with be grateful.
Have
faith.
And go get your life. Thanks, everybody.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye, guys.